As we further consider the pricing feature in the pre-built ML software, it is important to understand some of the key components and key players in the process. Central to the pricing feature is the product information database, or the PID file that we referenced earlier. This is a file that you will want to be able to store in a central location, such as on a server, that all of your in-house estimators or users can have access to. A second component that's a key part is your point of sale system, or the files or means or method that you use to store the pricing information for your business. In the PID file are a couple of important tables in the Access database. The first is the product to SKU mapping table. The goal of this table is to provide a mapping or a connection between the SKU that's in your point of sale system to the appropriate product that you would call in the PrebuiltML software. So the process that needs to happen is that someone in your organization or some collection of people need to map the SKUs in your point of sale system to the appropriate products. Just to look at that a little bit closer, here's what we mean. When you map your SKUs, the goal is to connect the material types that you use in PrebuiltML, in the takeoff software, with your associated SKUs for that material. So a practical example would be if you call a 2 by 4 by 8 foot Doug fir number 2 piece of material in the PrebuiltML software, and in your point of sale system, the SKU for that is SKU 12345, you're going to want to make that correlation in the product to SKU mapping table. To make that process happen, there's a few available tools, such as Microsoft Access or using Microsoft Excel to copy and paste items, or you can choose to enter and edit the data directly through the interface that's in the PrebuiltML software. And ultimately, it's going to be good to validate those entries by testing it against 2 or 3 completed projects that you've used with the PrebuiltML software. Second table that's in the PID file is the SKU to pricing information. The goal here is to provide in the PID file information that would be key to pricing out the specific SKUs. So again, a group of individuals or people in your organization will need to take the pricing data from your point of sale system and import it into the PID file. Just to take a closer look at what that looks like, again, when we're populating the pricing data, what we mean is we want to enter the price information about your SKUs, like any pricing tiers that you might use, or the unit of pricing, or the price per. Continuing on with that practical example, for SKU 12345 that we mapped on the left side, we would want to enter pricing information such as it's 45 cents per lineal foot, and perhaps it might come in multiple tiers. The available tools for this or methods would be first a manual entry using either Excel or Access, or directly entering things in the PrebuiltML software. But for many, if you're using a point of sale system where pricing is going to change and update over periods of time, the preferred method would be to devise an export from your point of sale system that you can then copy and paste into the PID file to make that process go much easier and make it maintainable in the future. The third component, obviously, will be the estimating team in your organization. And to show you how this looks, when they complete a takeoff, the material list will be sent through the PID file into the product SKU mapping table. And if you're using option 1, that is, the point of sale system will price your report, essentially at that point, that information can be exported and you can import it into your point of sale system to create the priced material list. But if you're going to allow the PrebuiltML software to price it for you, instead, at that point, PrebuiltML will also consult the SKU pricing information that you've provided, return that through the software, and price out your material list accordingly. So there's a quick look at some of the key components and players that you will have in this process. Each of these members, the estimating team, the price maintenance team, and the SKU product mapping team, are key people in your company that can identify the key components so that you get a correctly priced material list.